Hi everybody, Elizabeth, the curly-haired country gal here. Today I'm going to be reviewing Justin Rhodes' CHICKSHAW 2.0, what we like about it, what we would do differently if we could, and then a modification that we made on it that I'm so excited about. So so again, with any of the projects that I make, I like to make them durable. I'm trying to build systems that are durable, low maintenance, and low cost. I'm trying to balance those three things. So this one, if you've looked into making the chickshaw, you know that it's not low cost. I think on Justin's spreadsheet that he makes, the total is like $750 or something like that to build it, and it may have been a little bit more for us because of some of our wood choices. I'm not sure on that, but it's definitely not cheap. However, I would definitely say that so far it's been durable, and so far it's been low maintenance. So some of those low maintenance things tie into the pros, so I'm just going to go ahead and dive in to what we really like about it. So I'll go ahead and start by just kind of giving you a little walk around, and then we'll take a look inside. So of course we've got the door here, the clasps to keep it closed. We've got the 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch welded wire, the giant tires that, yes, are definitely worth it. The egg basket, or the egg cartons in the back for the eggs, and then we have this kickstand down at the bottom. Then you use this piece of metal to move the chickshaw, but then there's also an extra piece that you can use to prop it open. So let's take a look inside. Now, as you can see, easy to open, easy to close. And one of the reasons I do like this is because it is low maintenance in the sense that it is pretty self-cleaning. Most of the poop from the chickens just falls through. So that is definitely nice, because I really like, again, with low maintenance systems, I don't want to have like a chicken coop. We do have the roosters in a coop, but I don't want a lot of systems where I have to be out here every day to do stuff. I like it where I can walk away for a couple days, maybe upwards of a week if I need to, and still be all right. So I like that about this. I like that there's not as much wood, so that I can not have to worry too much about mites. My daughter's waving at me. Oh, I think they're playing hide and seek. Anyway, and then you'll notice in the back there's that bar to prevent the chickens from jumping up at night. And I'll kind of come back to that. That's actually something I would consider a con. And then we have this little holder in here for the minerals. I just have an extra or milk carton in here. Not really any particular reason why, but this is what the inside looks like. There is a little bit of poop buildup, but that's pretty easy to mitigate. I just grab this dog pooper scooper. Oh, sorry, zooming in and out, and just take it and get the poop through every I don't know, once a week or so. It's really not a huge deal to just get that out every once in a while. So again, some of the pros, it is definitely pretty low maintenance. It is very sturdy. It's very durable. And let me look at my list here so I don't forget to tell you anything. Alrighty. And it's really well thought out. I think that's a big pro for me. I like to be organized. I like to plan things out. And Justin did a really good job planning this out. Not only making it work well, but also to reduce the amount of waste and the amount of extra wood. So I just appreciate that. And it is really easy to move. I'll demonstrate that in a second. But I mean, my 4-year-old can move this thing. So it's really easy to move. Easy to clean. And then one other thing that we thought about, my husband's main concern with making this was a resale value, not being sure if we make this thing and a couple of years down the road we realize, you know, wasn't really, we don't need this anymore, we don't want this anymore. Would we be able to sell it? Would other people be interested? And you know, I think that that's actually a pro. I think that if somebody were looking at purchasing a chicken coop, that this would be something that would have a pretty good resale value. You might not be able to get all your money back, but it's sturdy and it's well built, and it's got kind of it's almost copyrighted. It's almost got like a trademark, you know, with how well known Justin is. So I think that that's a pro as well. And of course it is definitely predator resistant. So the entire thing is enclosed, and the inside has 1-inch welded wire on the bottom to keep things from grabbing the chickens. And then we've got even a finer one here on the side. So definitely predator resistant. We have a fence around the orchard anyway, but that's still nice. And then another big pro for me is that I can repurpose it if I want. If I end up making a permanent structure for the chickens up here, or even a different one, this can be repurposed. I can easily move it somewhere else and use it for turkeys or for grow outs or whatever. Yeah, so anyway, so those are all the pros. Now, some of the cons, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's just me, but our hens don't use the nesting boxes up here. We have the nesting boxes, we have the holes cut out of them, just like Justin prescribed, but they don't go in there. They would always just lay their eggs, and still do. You know, it's cold now, but when they're laying eggs, they would just lay their eggs in what was the dust bath over here. They would just lay over here. So I ended up just taking the dust bath out and just putting a nesting box in to try and train them, I guess. So I don't know if it's because the breed of chicken that we have is particularly big. They are black Orpingtons. And so I'm not sure if they just hesitated because because they're so big and it's hard for them to jump up there. But that's definitely a con. I'm not sure if that's just me and I just need to train my chickens to use nesting boxes. Leave me a comment if that's the case, because I don't know how to do that. But anyway, so that's one con. I think another con is that, kind of along those lines, again, I want this to be low maintenance. I want this to be something I can walk away from for a few days. And so this particular feature is not my favorite, having this bar. You know, I know that the purpose of the roosting bar, this bar, is to keep the chickens from roosting at night up here and getting into the nesting boxes and pooping in the nesting boxes. So, you know, it's supposed to be that you come out here in the morning, you let that down, they can get up in there and lay their eggs, and then at night you come back and put it up. But I don't necessarily want to be out here every day. So that's kind of a con for me. Not really sure what you would do to get around that. Maybe, I'm not sure if I would just close up the back and just I'm not sure, having the nesting boxes down there probably wouldn't make things any better. So that's kind of a pro or a con for me. Another con for me is this mineral holder, and it definitely gets sopping wet when it rains, and that's just kind of a waste of materials, and I'm always trying to reduce waste, so that's definitely a con. However, Justin I did see in one of his videos a couple months ago, maybe a few months ago, that he did address that, and he made a little roof over it, so that's one change that you can make. Now with that, before, and this kind of ties into one of the modification I made, but the walls are kind of tall. I'm not sure if there's anything that you could really do about that, but it's kind of awkward, at least for me, to reach inside because my chickens are laying eggs where they're not supposed to. It's kind of awkward for me to be like reaching in to grab the eggs. It's all right, but it's kind of a stretch sometimes. Not my favorite. Now, the other thing that I think is not necessarily a con, but something that I would change in the future is the roof. It's pretty sturdy, but it's still kind of a little wobbly. So if it was me, I think it might be nice to support it, like have a diagonal piece across the across the, like a diagonal board from corner to corner to support it, because it just feels a little floppy. It's probably going to be hard on the hinges down the road. And then the last con, I think, is just this door. Now again, I want this system to be something that I can walk away from, and so I leave the door open. But with that, it's going to rot much faster than anything else because it's touching the ground, and there's so much moisture where we live. So that's kind of a con, but that's not really something that I can do too much about or would do too much about. The one other con of this, the other one thing that I would change or modify somehow, is this kickstand. And this might be mainly my fault. This is the kickstand. You kind of have to lift up the CHICKSHAW to slide that kickstand under there. And so it works well as kind of a brake, and then it's fairly easy to just kind of lift it up and then kick it back out from under there when you are going to move it, and just put the little latch back under it. However, unfortunately, there have been more times than I'd like to admit that I forgot to put the kickstand up when I was going to move it, and that's probably the weakest part of the whole CHICKSHAW, is that just that one little hinge where if you forget to put the kickstand up like I have, it bends very quickly. So I probably need to replace that. But overall, I'm still really glad that we made it. I really like it. I like how easy it is to move. I like that it's self-cleaning, like I said. And so now, let me show you the modification that we made. You may have already seen it, but what we did to the CHICKSHAW was to make it even more low maintenance, even more, I don't know, I think that's the only word I can say, is to make it low maintenance. We put an automatic chicken coop opener on it. So, again, I just love this. This is like the perfect thing for us. So again, I can just leave this thing out here, especially in the winter when the chickens aren't laying as much. I can just leave it. I can just do nothing with the chickens. And I don't want to be a lazy homesteader, but I'm not. And there's plenty of other things for me to do. And this, not having to worry about coming out here twice a day to open it and to close it, is really nice. So I'm actually going to do a review on that in a separate video. So you can check that out as well. But this is the modification that I made that I'm really happy with. So this door just stays open all the time unless I need to move it. But I made it so that the door can still close, obviously, with the omelet there, because the door comes on, is, just attached to the outside. It doesn't go in. And so I made sure to put the omelet door, to inset it so that I could close the door to move it. And so, so this thing, I have it set. I've had this since August, so several months now. I'm still at 40% with the battery. This is the first batteries that I've put in, and it's working great. And I just needed to put some boards around the edges. I didn't worry about putting the the welded wire around the edges, because it just didn't seem like it would be necessary. Nothing would be able to get through there that couldn't get through the bottom, I don't think. So anyway, but that was a pretty simple modification, but one that has significantly reduced the amount of time that I had to do on chores, that I had to spend on chores. So I'm loving that, and I'll just demonstrate it closing for you. All you do is hold the OK button, and that's what it does every night. Alrighty, so I'll get that open back up, but that's my overall review of the CHICKSHAW. Again, I'm really happy with it. There's a few things that might not be a perfect fit for my particular setup, but it's sturdy, it's well thought out, and overall I'm really happy with it. We built this in August, so maybe it was a little earlier than that. I want to say we've had it since May, so 6 months, and it's holding up great. Anyway, CHICKSHAW 2.0, I give it a thumbs up. And if you have made one, tell me, how did it go? I know there's a mini as well, but thanks for watching, and tune in soon when I have that review of the omelet automatic chicken coop door opener. Bye. And I almost forgot. I'll show you how easy this thing is to move. It just rolls like butter over the ground. So if you have one, but I'll show you. Hi, chicken. Watch out there, mama. So I just close up the door. Make sure there's no chickens underneath. And then you just pick up the bar here after you make sure that the kickstand's up. And you just roll it right along. And mine happens, this looks super easy because mine is also on a hill, so that helps. But then I just go ahead and open the door and walk away. I don't put the brake on every single time, and that works fine for me. There was one time I woke up, or I came out here, and it was tipped because maybe it was windy, or maybe, I don't know what happened. And so I'm sure the chickens were terrified if they had been in it at that point. But that's the only time I've had a problem with not having the kickstand up, and seems to be working fine. So hey guys, Elizabeth, the curly-haired chicken. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you did, would you like the video and subscribe to the channel? That'll help support future videos and myself and my family. Thanks, and we'll catch you next time.